They say that to tell the story of anything, you need to tell the story of everything. Scientists and mystics agree, for the very first time in thousands of years, that there are 10 dimensions to our universe, and that only one of them, 1%, can be seen, felt, tasted, touched, or experienced with our 5 senses. So the question is, where is the other 99%? These are stories from the heart of the cosmos. Stories that blow the world into proportion, with a cast of characters whose time has come. I claim no credit for creating these characters. They were created through me as a divine antidote to our world of darkness and confusion. My greatest wish is that these stories, like the prayers of the ancients, may awaken your heart and illuminate your soul. My name is Annie Hart, and these are my stories. Oh love, oh pure, deep love, be here, be now, be all. Worlds dissolve in your endless radiance. Frail living leaves burn brighter than cold stars. Make me your servant, your heart, your breath, your core. Hold me in the fire, and although I die, I know for whom and why. Divine laws are simpler than human ones. That's why only love can explain them. Only love, only love. Only love. How many times must I repeat it before you jump into the fire? A mentor of mine said to me once, you're a storyteller, and I said, you're kidding. I had never thought of myself as a storyteller, but then when I thought about it, I realized that I spoke in stories. And that the training that I had gotten in hypnotherapy and a field called NLP was very much about story, and I never thought much about it because that is the way I think and the way I speak, as I think indigenous people do as well. Following the pathway of these indigenous people, their way of changing the culture was through story. These stories will resonate with people, first of all, because they're not really my stories. I didn't create these stories for myself. These stories really came through me, and they're universal, they're for everyone, and I do believe they will speak to our times. So, like the indigenous people, I tell cosmic stories because cosmic stories remind us of our origins and our place in the universe. And people say that really helps them remember who they are and why they're here. The stories about changing the world are very practical stories and magical stories about how to work together, how to create your life, and how to make everything possible from the impossible. So how I'm going to be sharing the light is through different types of stories. Personal stories that are of my own personal life adventures that I make wacky and humorous. I see that there will be a time in the future of much darkness. The world will be in confusion and turmoil. And I will need to send some of my very, very special assistants. I will need to send Zizzi, Love Goddess, for all the mess that they are making down there. in the area of love and relationship. Zizzi has a very unique perspective on love and relationships. She looked down from above and realized that the world is really a mess down here. So her message to us is to really wake up and love each other in the divine way, the way of the ancients. I'm also going to be framing it as cosmic stories, stories that are about creation and stories that are about deep concepts. So one of the cosmic stories is a story called All in One Point. And this is a story about our origins before the Big Bang, that we literally came from a time when we were all together as one. Okay, so this is the beginning of the story called All in One Point. In Italian, that's tutto in un punto. Attraverso I calcoli iniziati da Edwin P. Hubble sulla velocità di allontanamento delle galassie, si può stabilire il momento in cui tutta la materia dell'universo era concentrata in un punto solo. So these are stories from the heart of the cosmos. This is a story performance workshop, life-changing, really cool experience. Just let whatever happens, happen. Using cosmic creation stories is that we came from a place where we had everything. I call it the world of all possibility. And that world was filled with light and love and abundance, and anything goes, and we had all the chocolate we ever wanted to eat, and for the women we had all the high heels, and men had all the unlimited cable television. We had beauty and peacefulness. And then what happened is we came to this earth plane, and it's as if we hit our head on the stratosphere and we forgot. And we shrunk down into this little earth plane, and we squeezed ourselves into this box, this world of limitations. It's just so tight. So what do we do? How do we get from this world of limitations back to this world of possibility? So I call these the worlds of Im. The first world that we begin in is this world of limitation, the world of impossibility. I can't do it. I can't do anything about it. I don't know if you ever felt that way. I've felt that way a million times. I can't change this. So we can't go from that to being totally free. We have to have some gradual steps, some bridges. So the first place we go from impossibility, the next place over is a place of dim possibility, where we go, I still don't think I can, but maybe. Just maybe there's like a dim possibility. Once we get that, we start to go, it's like a crack forms and a little more comes forth. Then we're in the place of sim possibility, where possibilities are simmering. From that, we get even more excited. We go to glim possibility, where there's a glimmer of possibility and things start to come alive. And then from there, all we have to do is just break the barriers, and we're in the world of I am possibility. The apostrophe's off. I am possibility. And now everything's possible. I have a lot of favorite stories, but some of my favorite stories in the personal story realm are my stories about high heels. And one of them starts out like this. Me wear high heels? No way! Why would I want to do that? I'm a Birkenstock wearer. And this story chronicles my story from being a Birkenstock wearer to a woman who could actually dance in high heels. And I've told this story many times, and women are always inspired. I've had so many women come up to me and say, wow, I want to do that too. So I get a lot of wonderful feedback about these stories, that these stories have helped people illuminate and change their lives. One of my favorite ones was from performing in front of a group of 250 nuns. At the end of the performance, they all swarmed me, and they brought me over to their table and brought me lunch and sat me down, and they said, we want to know how you do what you do. Another of my favorite stories that came after a storytelling performance was from a woman who was in her 80s. She called me up the next day very excited and said, Annie, I had a dream about love. She'd come to my storytelling performance not even aware that she needed love in her life. And through something she heard or felt or experienced in the stories, it woke that up in her. It's very unique from any other form of storytelling and theater in that each of these characters represents a divine antidote to our world of confusion confusion and darkness. And the characters take you on an inner journey in which you can experience changes and transformation in yourself and in your life.